Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 5. Isn't it awesome? You're already on week 5. Can you believe it? How's everybody feeling? Everybody feeling good? Yeah? Yeah? Oh, Greg, you didn't watch the Super Bowl? Watch Mythbusters? That's okay. I was doing homework. I was doing my homework for my classes, which I will get to show part of it to you guys. And the best thing about my little lesson for you guys is this week I was doing my homework and everything was great. And then all of a sudden, my Microsoft Office completely failed. Everything went down. So my 30-minute PowerPoint presentation and my 2 papers for franchising and all of that stuff on Microsoft Office, it was gone. But this is where you get the but. I had copies. I copied and pasted everything into Google Docs to make sure I had a backup, which is extremely important and something to consider, especially because you never know when stuff is going to go down, like how it went down this weekend. So, speaking of assignments for you guys too, remember, week 5 assignment will be due on Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is a quiz and it only has 5 questions. Am I right, Chef?
Yes, absolutely right, Chef.
All right. I feel like I'm shouting. It's one of those where
I did too.
My ears are clogged, so it's that I need them to pop because I feel like I'm shouting now at you guys, yelling at you to get your homework done. And surprise, if you turn in week 5 assignment early, so you do your quiz by Saturday at 11:59 p.m., you guys are going to receive extra credits. That's right. You get extra credit just for turning in your assignment early. Doing the quiz early means extra credit, so get it done. And it has to be by Saturday, 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Does that sound good for all?
What's the extra credit?
Extra credit, it's 5 points towards your grade. You guys are going to be getting 5 points for doing the survey when that opens up, and you guys will get another 5 points for doing your extra credit.
Or can you get 105 on the quiz?
No, this is actually towards your grade,
Okay.
your whole grade. So that's the beauty of it. And then also, I want you guys to plan ahead. You need to plan ahead because week 6 is a short week. Everything is due by Sunday, February 17th at 11:59 p.m. So everything must be done by Sunday, 11:59 p.m. There are no resubmits at that point. If you do your quiz and you're like, oh, I should redo it again to get a better grade, you will not get that chance. So make certain to get it done because class is over, class ends, grades will be in. So make certain that everything is done by that Sunday. And I want you guys to plan. You never gonna your Microsoft Word, Office, everything may go down, but you have to plan ahead because I cannot say to my instructor, my bad, like everything went down, the dog ate my homework. It's not gonna matter because it's the last day of class. So if the dog ate the homework, and then you're it. And it's the same thing for if you have caterings, right? You can't, if you have a catering on a Saturday and you show up on a Sunday, you're not going to get paid. You're not going to get anything because your catering was on a Saturday, not on a Sunday. So get it done and get it done early so that you can be prepared for whatever may happen. Right? Yes, I'm seeing nods. Yes. All right. Because remember, get the assignments done early. That way we don't have to worry. And then you'll be done early. It's going to be great. You'll be nice and refreshed, and you'll be like, oh, yay, I'm already done. I got 100%. This is awesome. So it'll be like that. Now, I want to also remind you guys all the fun research materials that are right here and your restaurant math in action. Check those bad boys out. Remember, our live session is there. We have a bonus session, and then we will have our assignment, and this is the quiz. That's only 5 questions. So if you're like, where's all the questions? There's only 5 of them. So you don't have to worry. How did everybody feel about last week's quiz? Lisa, I see a thumbs down.
Drove me crazy.
Drove you crazy?
Drove me crazy.
Why is that?
I figured it out, but it only took me all day.
But remember, this is why you practice now. Because you're going to want to practice all of this now. So, make the mistakes now, and then you can resubmit and retake the quizzes and really be able to take that time to figure it out. Because now's the time to do it, as opposed to when it's your business looking at real numbers that are going to actually affect your business.
Yeah. Last week, not to cut you off. Last week I went and did the quiz, and I went through the helpful hints. I actually got 100 out of the quiz, but then still felt like I was a little unsure. So I did join the live session on Tuesday. Got a couple of questions answered, but it was just kind of surprising. I got 100 off the quiz, but still didn't feel so sure about the problems. And like I said, I joined the live session on Tuesday. So,
but that's great that you got 100. But remember, and that's why we're practicing, right? Get it down now. Get all of this stuff going, and so the more you practice, the better it's going to be. And did my top tips video help anybody? Did you guys watch my top tips video that I sent out? Did that help?
Yes, it did.
That's what saved me.
Yeah, see, top tips video. And remember, and Chef Gregory will also be able to tell you the same thing. We've been doing this for years. So it's just a matter of practice. We've been doing this for a very long time. So Chef Gregory is like a pro at numbers. He is like a financial analysis guru, because that's what he had to do all the time. Am I right, Chef?
Yes, thank you for being so complimentary. I appreciate it. You're right.
Well, and because your entire bonus was based off of you knowing the numbers.
Very true. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so that's why it's so important to know this stuff. And just practice. And for those who feel uneasy or whatnot, I can tell you, I am in my master's class right now, and they were like, do a financial analysis. And I was like, oh, cool. I know this. I can do this. Totally. And I turned it in, and they're like, yeah, 100%. That's perfect. Just change this, like add this for your final project. I'm like, oh, sweet. Awesome. And then he sends out, like the instructor sends out a mass email saying like, so the majority of you bombed this assignment because all of you do not know how to do a financial analysis, apparently. So don't feel bad. It's not just you. But you doing this now gives you that edge. It gives you that ability to, when you go out and do your externship and start your business, you're already a step ahead of the game. Because there's a lot of people who don't understand the numbers. But by you guys going through and doing all this stuff, you're gonna have the foundation to understand the numbers. Right?
Well, I got one wrong, only because I missed it by a decimal point. At the end,
And now sorry, go ahead, Lisa.
Mm-hmm. I got a 90, but I got the one wrong because I missed it by a decimal point. I need to move it over one more.
Yeah, and that's a good mistake to have now, and not when it's your business, right?
Very true.
So, because that one decimal space, that can make or break your your profit and loss statement. So
Yeah.
good to do that, have those mistakes now so that now you will always remember, right?
Oh, yeah, now I remember.
Yeah, you'll always remember to check that decimal place to make sure that it's right. That's the best way to learn, is by having those mistakes, and you'll like remember that forever.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah. Now, so what do you guys think a budget is? I have
The
part of
amount of
it.
money you have to spend for the week, month, day, whatever.
The amount of money you have for weeks, months, days. Yep. You guys did a great job of talking about your budget in the discussion, right? Because the beauty of that discussion is there's really no wrong answers, because you have to look at everything when you're looking at your budget, right? You guys talked about food costs, you talked about your suppliers, you talked about all that great stuff in your discussion. And a budget is a very, very important tool for your business.
Come on, sit down, Rudy.
Because it pretty much, it shows you the what you want your how much money you want to spend, right? And this goes into your concept. How much, like, are you going to be a McDonald's fast food style chain, or are you going to be the French Laundry? Because those two budgets are going to be different, right? Because they're different concepts. They're going to focus on other different aspects. And so it's a great way to understand how much money you can spend during a given time. And it's a fantastic tool to help when you're looking at control. Like, it's a control tool. So that means it can help you understand how much you're allowed to spend in your operation during a given time. You don't want to go over, you don't want to go, if you go under, that's great. But if you go too far over, then you're going to lose out on money. And you guys make budgets all the time, right? You make them for how much you spend on food, clothes, rent. You guys may not even realize it, that you do it in your head instantaneously. You go to the store and you see a price for, you know, a can of soup is 99 cents versus $5. You decide what you're going to end up picking, right? Which one are you going to decide? You already started working out what your priorities are so that you can make that budget work. Do you care that it's a $5 can of soup because it's organic and, you know, non-GMO, or do you just need that 99 cents can of soup? Those are things you have to look at. And creating a budget is great because it helps provide accountability. It improves interdepartmental communication, so that front of the house versus back of the house versus marketing and HR and administrative duties, all that good stuff. Everybody has to talk together to make certain that there's enough money to do all this stuff. And then it's a great way to provide accountability. What do you think I mean by accountability? What do you guys think of for accountability with a budget? Where the money goes? Yep. What else? So say that you have a bartender and you find out that, you know, you bought $500 worth of wine, and then you realize that you only had a budget for 400. And the bartender decided, oh, well, I wanted to just do another couple, like an extra case or whatnot. He just decided that without looking at the budget, right? That's not good. That type of stuff can happen. People are like, oh, well, it looked like it was going to be a good deal this week, so I'm just going to do it. But if you don't have the money for it, then where's that money going to come from? If you go over your budget, where do you think your money's coming from to pay for it?
Your employees, the money that you owe your employees.
Out of your own pocket.
Pocket.
Your own pocket, not your employees, because you still have to pay your employees, but from your profits, right? That's going to shrink that profit percentage. So that's why it's so important to make certain that people are accountable for what they're doing with money. Because you just don't want people going out and they're like, I'm going to buy a $500 bottle of wine, and I'm going to buy a $1,000 bottle of whiskey and all that type of stuff, especially if you can't afford it. And if it's not that type of place for it. So, and then it also requires forward thinking, right? Because you don't want there to be any surprises when you are looking at your budget. You want to have that plan. You guys have a plan every week, right? Every month of you have to pay rent at this time. This is how much money goes to rent. This is how much money goes to your utilities, to cable, to food. You guys already have those plans, and now you have to do the same thing here. And then for forward thinking, we look at forecasting, because forecasting is in a budget and a forecast should work in tandem. They should go together, because a forecast for both short-term and long-term can help you create your budget. So what's a good example for forecasting for short-term? You guys are used to seeing forecasts, right? Because you watch the Weather Channel. They are forecasting, they are trying to predict what the weather is going to be for the next few days for you guys, right? Heck, even the Farmer's Almanac, they're a year out. You're doing the same thing, but with your money. So what are some good short-term forecasts that you could try to figure out for your business?
How much milk you're gonna need.
How much milk you're going to need? Yeah.
And basically on how much, sales you get from, for the week.
Yeah. How much sales you're going to get, because that can help you figure out, well, if I sold 100 burgers this week, I may be selling 100 burgers next week. So I need to plan for that. Right? What's a good long-term one? Forecast.
Business plan.
Business plan. Yeah, business plan. That's a beautiful example, Paul. The beautiful one, because your investors are going to want to see your forecast, because if it's a brand new business, all you have are projections and forecasts to go off of. And so long term, that's a great one. You can also look at seasonability, right? Say I live in the mountains and it's winter time and it's busy because it's a ski town. I'm going to know that I'm going to be busier during the winter months than I will be during the summer months. So you can look at your winter months and plan accordingly for this winter. So, oh, Anthony, I just saw, are you good? We're talking about forecasts, as Chef Gregory said.
Yes, my thing had logged out after you said something about forecast.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're good. Here, let me I'll put up the slide again for you. And like I said, you see this all the time, right? And you want to make sure you don't run out of food. So forecasts are great for that type of stuff, because you don't want to have to pay your staff their extra time, gas money, any of that type of stuff to make them go to the store because you ran out of something. and you kept on running out of something every single day. You don't want to have to do that. You want to make certain that you try to plan ahead and anticipate what the needs are going to be for your business. So that's why forecastings are great. And now for you guys, I'm going to share with you guys my homework that I had to do. This is a spreadsheet. Now, don't get worried. You guys don't have to do this for your assignment or anything, but I just want to show you so you guys have a guide as to what you can expect when you're going out there in the real world, starting to look at numbers. It's a good guide for you to go off of and see. So let me pull up my numbers. And this is a brand new business. This is brand spanking new. I primarily made this business for my MBA program. And that being said, it's a cooking school. I decided to make it a cooking school for residential people to have them learn how to cook, right? For their regular customer, learning how to cook. Not a cooking school like here, but just that one that can go to, like, you know, you can bring the whole family to a cooking class, and kiddos can come and do like a 1 week cooking school, that kind of thing. I also have merchandise in there. I decided I was going to do etiquette classes for corporate events, those kind of things. And I decided to call my cooking school Mise en Place. So, what does mise en place mean?
Everything in its place.
Everything in its place, because we want our customer to feel that their place is in the kitchen with us, learning how to cook. Oh, marketing, right? Come up with a delightful tagline like that. So this is, I have this delightful Excel spreadsheet that I did for you guys. Can you guys all see that? So this was my revenue stream. This is all of the things that I included. I did my research. I made certain that I looked at my competition. I looked at my target market. I looked at the demographic. I looked at all of this stuff to figure out how much money I was going to be able to make, like on gift certificate sales. I also decided to do a food photography studio. My friend's a food stylist. So I was like, oh, awesome. There's no photography studios up here in Fort Collins. And then I also got all of my equipment in order. Do you see all that? Isn't that great? All of this equipment. I figured out all of my costs for this type of stuff, so I could figure out what my startup costs were going to be. And then the best part here is my budget that I made. As you can see, it is myself, Chef Gregory, and I threw Chef Tyson in here too, because Chef Tyson's like the king of cost controls for Escoffier. We all make a salary. I have our monthly budget in here. I got benefits. I have our bartender, dishwasher, all of this stuff here. I have marketing. This is all of the stuff I put in for my budget. And I have food, beverage costs, all that great stuff is right here. See all that nice work that I did for something that doesn't exist? But this is, as Paul said, this is the type of stuff that the investors are going to want to see. They're going to want to see all of this information, and it is up to you to be able to provide it. And then I have my, as you see down here, all this great stuff, my sales forecast. I looked at my competition. I looked at the economy, how the economy was doing around here. I looked at what the competition was doing. I looked at what the seasonality, because every town kind of has that high point and like slow time and busier time. So I figured out what that was. I put in my occupancy rates in here for amount of people coming to the class. I came up with my totals. I have the amount of labor and hours that I was able to forecast because I figured out all of this stuff so I could properly make my budget, right? So this forecast helps me figure out, am I actually going to be able to afford to stay in business with all of this budget stuff? What do you guys, how do you feel about that?
That was great. That was
Yeah.
great.
Now, I know Chef Gregory is the king of profit and loss statements and whatnot because he dealt with this all the time. Am I right?
You are right. Every day.
Every day.
That is
So,
all I did the entire day was profit and loss.
and it's a great way to be able to figure out how much food you're going to need, every single little bit. And let me pull that up. And remember, I was able to get 100% on this project for all of these numbers that I did because I ran a business. I've seen these numbers before. I'm not like a fresh out of culinary school, because when I was fresh out of culinary school, I would have looked at this and been like, what do you want me to do? Like, so don't worry, but this is where you can get to. This is your end goal, right? You want to start your own business and, you know, you have that foundation now, and now you can just keep on practicing, keep on learning. That's why you got to do the assignments early, right? And it just is practice. So that's where I was able to project. Then you get your 3-year cash flow going. And this is all a forecast because this isn't real. This isn't a real business. I made this up. So, but I made them up to base off of research that I did. I figured out my location. I figured out how much utilities, all that kind of stuff was going to be. I figured out how much all the competition was doing so I could be in industry standards, all of that fun stuff. So I could say, yes, I'm going to make money. The first year is not going to be as pretty as the next couple of years, but I will be gradually going. And this is the beauty of the forecast. And then you can use this to help create your budget. So if I go to boom. The forecasts, as I said, it can help you determine how you're going to be purchasing all that awesome stuff, right? Because how much storage do you have? How big is your place? How big is your facility? Can you actually buy stuff in bulk? Can you have it delivered, or do you have to go pick it up? Because the size of your establishment will help you determine how much ordering you can really do. And it can help you create your par level. Do you guys remember what your par level was? We went over in menus by management. Remember it's a par level. Anybody?
The lowest you can go?
The lowest you can go, did you say? Paige?
Yes. Yes.
Or the lowest you can go for what?
Isn't it breaking even?
Sales.
Nope. Your par level is part of your inventory. So
Go with your inventory?
yeah, do you have enough in your kitchen to get through until you order for the next time? That's your par level. So do you guys remember that now? Like, so do you have enough inventory to get your kitchen through until you get the next order delivered? That's your par level. And you have par level, like it's in your sheets, all that good stuff. And then there's a difference between perishable versus dry goods, right? Because are you doing enough? Do you have enough capacity? Are you serving enough people to have, 500 pounds of chicken breasts? Or you have 50 people and you don't have that much room? You only have a small, tiny reach-in. Because for all those how many food truck people do we have? Food truck? People? Lisa? Yeah. Because remember, where are you going to store it all? You may have a commissary kitchen that you're going to, but you're sharing that commissary kitchen. So how much can you actually store there? And how much food can you actually hold on your truck? All of those type of things are going to factor in when you're looking at your inventory. I ran a bed and breakfast. We had a small storage place. I could not order enough food to get it delivered to the establishment. But I was lucky enough because we have Shamrock here, which is kind of like, it's another US food, Cisco kind of business. And they have a warehouse here in town. So I could just go and pick up my order and then bring it back. And that makes a difference versus somebody who is in a giant hotel or event center like Chef Gregory, who got to have way more control over the food and the costs because he had a bigger inventory. Am I right?
Yes. Yes, it was very big. We had, depending if it was busy, we had like 75,000 to more or less 90 if it was really busy as far as inventory goes at one time.
And then I'm guessing you had better negotiation skills than, say, I would have with
Yes.
Cisco and whatnot.
Yep. So everything was on a contract. And then everything was pretty much, we were just so big with purchasing. We had all the purchasing power. We could just say, this is what we're going to pay for it. This is what we want. We want our orders first. So we were a little bit spoiled on the purchasing. Yes.
I was not that lucky, but that's that's why you have to understand all of these numbers and to figure out how much space, how much stuff you can fill. How you need to be able to work your space and to be able to understand your inventory and to really get into your budget too, because Chef Gregory would be able to probably get, say, like chicken breast for like 99 cents a pound. I could not buy that as much as he could, so I am paying $2 a pound because I did not have as much of a bargaining chip. While I was still loyal, I didn't do nearly as much business as he did. So those are things to consider when you're looking at these numbers. How's everybody doing? You feeling good? Feeling good? Yeah, Chef, it's awesome. Oh God, I'm so glad. So glad you think so. So remember, you guys have seen this before, right? Your food costs, you have your beginning inventory, because let's say we bought a bag of sugar and then you bought 2 more bags of sugar, right? And then you're gonna subtract how much you ended up using to get your total food costs. So your beginning inventory plus purchases minus your ending inventory will give you your total food costs. This number is also called the cost of goods sold, COGS. You're going to hear COGS like all of your life now. So you will always see cost of goods sold. That means COGS. So if somebody is asking you, what are my COGS, what are the COGS? Now you know cost of goods sold. That means total food costs, right? And then you guys have seen this equation, right? The total food cost divided by sales. equals your food cost percentage. You guys did that with the hot dog. You guys remember that? Remember this bad boy right here? This hot dog? You already figured out your food cost percentage with that. So you guys are pros, right? So I have my beginning inventory is $3,000. I bought $2,000 worth of stuff. And at the end of the day, when I was looking, I didn't, I'm doing inventory weekly. I'll say weekly. I'm doing it weekly. I had $1,500. So 3,000 plus 2,000 minus 1,500 equals 3,500. That is my cost of goods sold. Are there any questions about that? How do you guys feel about that?
So you're basically just taking what you already have, adding what you're like, adding what you buy, and then you're subtracting what you used, and that gives you your total cost.
Correct. You got it. That's perfect.
Okay.
Exactly it.
Cool.
And that is the beauty of what we're doing this week with our quiz. Our delightful, delightful quiz. That is 5 questions. So don't be freaking out. You guys are so used to seeing 10 questions. All of a sudden, if you're like, oh my God, there's only 5, where's the rest of my quiz? It's only 5 questions. So remember, but it's only 5 questions, which means you can start it now. Am I right? You guys can jump on there, start it before it's due on Tuesday. You're going to have it done by Saturday, right? By 11:59 p.m. Why is that? Why are you going to have it done by Saturday?
5 points extra credit.
5 points towards your entire grade for extra credit if you just do it early. Isn't that great? Yes, chef, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Just want to make sure you guys get that extra credit in. Thank you so much. It's so great. Oh, I know. Fantastic. So to go over our delightful assignment with you, we have Chef Gregory.
All right, everybody.
Go through the awesomeness of this assignment.
All right.
That's worth 5 extra points if you do it by Saturday. So just get it done. Get in there. Get done.
All right, everybody. So this is your helpful hint sheet, which I will send out tomorrow in the morning. So remember on all these highlighted things that are underlined, this is what it's asking us. This is the questions. What is her beginning inventory? How much more did she spend on dairy than on produce? What is her total food cost? And what is her food cost as a percentage of sales? And how much did Amy spend on food? So I'm going to send this out to you guys tomorrow, and we will go over some questions. All right, so this one. It's asking us, what is her beginning inventory for the following week? So when Chef was talking about the inventory, does anybody know what the answer for this would be?
4,172.
Nope, that's her beginning inventory that she started with.
Oh, for the following week. Okay.
Okay, so can you tell me that one?
3059.
Exactly. Her ending inventory is now her beginning. So when it's asking us what is her beginning inventory, we're just looking for this right here, and it'll tell you on the quiz. Ending inventory, 3,059.
And remember, guys, this is where you need to make certain that you read everything, because all that information is there, but you have to read everything to see what the question is really asking for.
All right. So on this one, what is her beginning inventory for the following week?
It's the same one, Chef.
I don't know what happened on that. Thank you for that, sir. I don't know. Okay. So what's the answer for this? Beginning inventory for the following week.
$4,110.
Nope. We're talking about her ending
3,729.
inventory,
Yeah.
3,729.
3,729. Her ending inventory, she stops, she takes the inventory, she has it. When she opens back up tomorrow, that is now her new starting inventory. So if she, let's just use days, February, we're in February. So she took the inventory, she ended February 28th, $3,729. March 1st, her starting inventory, $3,729. All right. So it's asking us, how much did Chef Amy spend on food over the course of a week? So all we have to do is we just have to add up her purchases. So it's telling us throughout the week, she purchases produce, meat, dry goods, and dairy. So does anybody know what I will add up, numbers-wise?
$1,237 for produce.
Yes, sir. $1,237 for produce. What's the next one?
1,428.
Yep. For meat. What is the next one?
1,567 for dry goods.
Yes, and the last one from somebody, please.
1,987 for dairy.
87 for dairy. Okay, so all we're doing is we're adding up her purchases, just right here. So if this was our quiz, we had 1, 2, 3, 7, plus 1, 4, 2, 8, plus 1, 5, 6, 7, plus 1, 9, 8, 7. So her total spent on food for the week is 6219. All we're doing is just adding this up. So on this one, we're looking for the same thing. How much did she spend on food? So what am I going to add?
1,727 for
Yep.
produce.
Produce, yep. Perfect. Say what you're adding. Yes, please. So what about the next one?
1,908
On.
for meat.
Yep. Perfect. The next one?
1,237 for dry goods.
Yes, and the last one, please.
$1,827 for dairy.
Thank you. So her purchases, 1,727 plus 1,908 plus 1,237 plus 1,827, 6,699. So all you did, if it's asking us how much did she spend on food for a week, we just have to look at her purchases, which it tells us. That's it. We're just adding her purchases. So on the next one, how much more did Chef Amy spend on dairy than she spent on produce? So can somebody tell me, we're looking for two numbers. We're looking for two things in here. Can somebody tell me what the dairy cost was?
$1,123.
Exactly. Yep. For dairy, exactly. Thank you. $1,123.
And then you subtract 121 from the produce.
821.
821. Yes, thank you. 800. Yep. 821 from the produce. So I had my dairy minus my produce. So how much more did she spend on that? 1123 minus 821.
$302.
Exactly. $302. She spent $302 more on dairy that week than she did on produce. Same thing. Can somebody tell me, please, the dairy for this one?
$1,124 on dairy.
On dairy, exactly. We're looking for how much more did she spend on dairy than she spent on produce. So thank you for that. Can somebody please tell me the produce?
$948 on produce.
On produce, exactly. We're looking for dairy and produce. So 1124 minus 948, 100.
And 78.
76.
76.
76.
176. So she spent $176 more on dairy than on produce.
Now, will we need to write the answer like that, or is it going to be
No,
multiple?
I believe I did it just to make like a visual. I believe some of these are multiple choice and some of them you type in. So you would just type in 176.
Okay.
It should. You don't need to, but it should if you put this.
You ready?
Should also work.
Okay.
No.
Can't see the chat, so if you guys could just keep yourselves muted, please. All right. So here we're talking about, it's asking us, what is her total food cost? This is what Chef Rachel was talking about. What is her total food cost? So first, our total food cost is our beginning inventory plus our purchases minus our ending inventory. That'll give us our total food cost. So first thing we need to know is our beginning inventory. Can somebody tell me?
Sorry.
No, please say it.
$3,658.
Okay. So when we were talking about the ending will switch to the beginning, but she's already looking at the week that she did.
So 4,715.
Exactly. Chef Amy does a beginning inventory on Thursday night and finds she has beginning inventory of 4715. Now we need to add in our purchases.
So are we adding all these numbers up?
Yes, you are. Yep.
So,
throughout the week, everything she had bought.
So 864 for produce.
864 for produce. Yep.
1,167 for meat.
Yep.
2,109 for dry goods.
Yep.
And then 1,915 for dairy.
Yep. Okay.
Let me ask you a question before you finish.
Sure.
Why can't we just add all of them up and just put that one number, or why do we have to do one by one to get the number? You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to show you guys like the most basic breakdown of this. If you'd like to, you're doing the same thing at the end to answer your question. If you'd like to add these up and add 4,715 to this total, that's exactly what we are doing here.
Okay.
But you do need the sum of all that because we have to subtract out her ending inventory after we get this answer.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's do this first. 4,715 plus 864 plus 1167 plus 2109 plus 1915. Okay? Beginning inventory plus purchases. All right. Now, we're subtracting her ending inventory out of this. Can somebody tell me the ending inventory for Amy?
3,658.
3,658. Ending inventory. So now we're going to do this right here. So we have our 10,770 minus our ending inventory, 3,658. Our answer is
7,112.
Yep, 7,112. This is our answer. All right, let's do the same thing on same question. Total. What is her total food cost? To find that, our total food cost, our beginning inventory plus our purchases minus our ending. No, please tell me my beginning inventory.
What? $4,815.
Exactly. I'm going to add that to my purchases. What are my purchases?
863.
On?
1,000 produce.
Yep.
1,169 on meat.
Yep.
$2,103 on dry goods, and
Yep.
1,912 on dairy.
Exactly. This is our first part. Beginning inventory plus our purchases. So for that, we have 4,815 plus 863 plus 1,169 plus 2,103 plus 1,912, 10,862. It's not a decimal, it's a comma. Okay, now we're subtracting our ending inventory. What is our ending inventory?
3,620.
Exactly, it told us that. Ending inventory, and fine, she has 3,620. So we have our 10,862. We're subtracting 3,620. Our answer,
242.
7,242. Everybody good on that? Then does everybody know where I got those numbers from? When she
Yes.
was explaining them to me? Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So now remember what we just did. All right. Now it's asking us almost the same exact thing. It's asking us what is her food cost? Has a percentage. I don't know how I just did that.
Control Z. Okay.
What is her food cost as a percentage of sales? Okay, so first thing we have to do is we got to find our exact same thing that we just did. So we're going to find, oh, I'm sorry, say it.
4,029.
And what was that?
That's her beginning
It
inventory.
is. Yep.
And then you got to add 1,914 for produce.
1,914 for produce. Yep.
$1,241 for meat.
Yep.
2,267 for dry goods.
Yep.
And then 1,895 for dairy.
Exactly. So we're doing that, and then we're going to stop. 4,029 beginning. 1,914 produce. 1,241 meat. 2,267 dry goods. 1,895 dairy. 11,346. 11,346. Now we're going to subtract our ending inventory. Can somebody tell me that?
3,482.
3,482, our ending inventory. Okay, so that is going to equal our 11,346 minus 3,482, 7,864. So this is just like we did on the previous questions. We did the same thing up here. So we did the same thing down here. So now all we need to do to finish this, when we've talked about it a couple of times in class, to get a percentage, we do our cost. We do our cost divided by our sales. This is our cost. Somebody tell me the sales.
35,126.
Exactly. Yep. 35,126. So I have my 7,864 divided by 3,5,126. Okay. So what is my answer going to be?
I think 22%.
It is. However, though, on this one, if it's multiple choice, you'll be able to see that, right? If it's not multiple choice, and we're talking about moving a decimal, you would move the decimal 2 places, and you'd have 22.38%.
If it's not multiple choice.
Exactly.
But say if it is not multiple choice, can we still put 22, decimal 22, or do we have to do 22.38?
To be honest with you, to be safe, I would do I would just put, this is all I would put, is right here. Why I keep having trouble with this? This is all I would put right here.
But remember, you got to round up, so it should be 22.39, correct? Because it was a 7 after that 9, or a 7 after that 8, right?
Yep.
For the rounding, so yeah.
And you're doing 3. Yep.
Well, why are you going even further past when you said only 2 places? That you get, like, can you pull that calculator back up?
Yeah, of course.
So, like, you know how you've been telling us all week, like all these other classes, to just you move the decimal 2 places and look at, you know, the next number over.
Yep.
So why are we now looking at the 4th number?
Because you have to put this into a percentage. So you need to move this over 2 places first.
So if you times that by 100, if you could times that, Chef, by 100, and then normally you guys have been doing just 22%, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you guys are further along. You're another week in. So now this week, we want you to be as precise as possible now. So we want you to do that 22.39%. Because before it was you're getting used to the formulas. Now you've seen this formula. Now we're going to make it more precise.
So if it is multiple choice, we'll see 22.38 or 39.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not, we just need to write 22.39.
But like he said, if it's multiple choice, then it should be 22. It should be just 22.
You will
Right.
see the choices, and then you will be able to, like, once you do it, obviously you're going to be able to see it.
But
I'm going to try.
if they got the 22.38, then the 22.39, say if they do have them too, which one is correct? The 22.39 out of 22.38?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Actually, I don't see any multiple choice on this one either for this test. So it's all just answer, fill in the blank.
So we'll get it right, though, if we put the 22.39, it will be considered correct.
Let's do one, and we will see exactly what happens. Please put your thing as a decimal. Okay. What do we need? We need 4138 plus 19957 plus where is our question?
Further down. Okay, so you got that right.
Yep. So on that one back, when we're talking about it would be the 22.39.
Okay.
Okay.
So this was your guys' exact quiz that I took.
Mm.
So this might actually be like one of your answers, which would be good. So we do have a couple of minutes. Let's see if I can bring up a fresh quiz. Is there any on here that anybody, I'm going to scroll through and then just say stop or something if you want me to do it. This is your actual quiz.
I think you guys got it though, right?
Yeah, because it's actually, once you broke it down the way you did, I mean, it's pretty much just a lot of adding this week.
Yeah.
It is.
Taking away a little bit. And it maybe one divided and rounding off.
Yep. So this one, we were talking about dairy, how much more on dairy than on produce. So we have our dairy, we subtract our produce. On this one, it's talking about what is her beginning inventory for the following week. We know our ending inventory is going to switch to the beginning. So all we would type is 3319.
Wait a minute. Now, I thought you said the beginning will always be the 4,758. Because when I done the ending, you said no. What do we do wrong, different?
Okay. Yep, I'll explain to you. Okay. This is the start of her week right here. So that 4,758 was the ending from the week before.
Right.
So it's asking us, what is the beginning inventory? We're at a stop. So now we're going forward.
Okay, so pretty much we need to make sure we read it clearly and understand it before we answer it.
Yep. And then on your helpful hint sheet, I broke it all down for you guys. So it says, like, if it asks how much more on dairy minus produce is how you get it. And then first, find your dairy. Second, find your produce. Then you subtract. Same thing with the food cost. And same thing with the percentage.
And what is that? Where is that at?
This will be in your email tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
But remember, start now. So not only will you get extra credit, but then it's all fresh in your mind. So start it now because it's fresh, right?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Paige. Yes.
I said yes too.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Erica.
All right.
So you guys have a great week and practice. Start now. And then I hope we're looking forward to seeing everybody on week 6. Remember, it's a short week, so everything is due by Sunday of week 6. So get started now, plan ahead. No procrastinators here. Am I right? Right. Don't end up like me with Microsoft Word completely going down. Be ahead of the game. And then I hope everybody has a fabulous week 5.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Good night.